Hello, everyone, and welcome to this podcast where we practice English through real life stories and useful tips. Today, I will tell you an inspiring story who decided to change her life. Imagine yourself in a small town with a stable job, but feeling that something is missing. She dreamed of traveling and exploring new places, but fear held her back. At first, she was scared of making mistakes or leaving her comfort zone. However, deep inside, she knew that life is too short to stay in one place. So she started planning her big adventure. One day, she realized that she needed to take action. So she began saving money and learning about different countries. She talked to people who traveled a lot, asking for advice. After months of preparation, she bought a ticket to a country she always wanted to visit. At the airport, she discovered a problem. Her ticket was for the wrong city. Panic set in, and she felt like everything was falling apart. But then, a kind stranger approached her and offered help. This moment changed her perspective. Think about your own life. Have you ever made a mistake that turned into something positive? Share your thoughts with us. Now let's move to the next part of the story and see how this woman's journey continued. The woman decided to make the best of her unexpected situation. Instead of giving up, she chose to explore the new city she found herself in. At first, everything felt strange and unfamiliar, but soon she discovered hidden wonders. She walked through colorful streets and visited local markets where people greeted her with warm smiles. She tried new foods that were surprisingly delicious and made friends with locals who shared their stories and culture with her. One day, while visiting a small cafe, she met a group of travelers who inspired her with their adventures. They talked about different countries and the lessons they learned on the road. This conversation changed her perspective. The travelers taught her how to be brave and open to new experiences. They also helped her improve her English, because most of them spoke only English. She practiced every day and soon noticed significant progress. Think about your own life. Have you ever been in a situation where things didn't go as planned, but turned out to be amazing? Share your thoughts with us. Now, let's move to the next part of the story. The woman decided to make the best of her unexpected situation. Instead of giving up, she chose to explore the new city she found herself in. At first, everything felt strange and unfamiliar, but soon she discovered hidden wonders. She walked through colorful streets and visited local markets where people greeted her with warm smiles. She tried new foods that were surprisingly delicious and made friends with locals who shared their stories and culture with her. One day, while visiting a small cafe, she met a group of travelers who inspired her with their adventures. They talked about different countries and the lessons they learned on the road. This conversation changed her perspective. The travelers taught her how to be brave and open to new experiences. They also helped her improve her English, because most of them spoke only English. She practiced every day and soon noticed significant progress. Think about your own life. Have you ever been in a situation where things didn't go as planned, but turned out to be amazing? Share your thoughts with us. Now, let's move to the next part of the story. The woman's confidence grew as she continued teaching and exploring the city. She realized that her initial fear of making mistakes had been holding her back for far too long. Now she saw mistakes not as failures, but as stepping stones to growth. One day, while working with the children, she received an unexpected offer. A local organization invited her to lead a workshop for adults who wanted to learn English. At first, she hesitated, unsure if she was ready for such a big responsibility. After some thought, she decided to accept the challenge. She prepared carefully, creating simple lessons and practicing her delivery. The workshop turned out to be a success, and the participants were grateful for her help. This experience taught her another valuable lesson. We often underestimate our abilities. By taking on challenges, we discover strengths we didn't know we had. She felt proud of how far she had come since her arrival in the city. Think about your own life. Have you ever taken on a challenge that surprised you? Share your thoughts with us. Now let's move to the next part of the story and see what happened next. The woman's journey continued to surprise her in unexpected ways. After the workshop, she began receiving invitations to speak at other events. People were inspired by her story and wanted to learn from her experiences. At first, she felt nervous about speaking in front of larger audiences. She worried that she might make mistakes or say something wrong. However, she reminded herself of the lessons she had learned. Mistakes are part of growth, and courage leads to new opportunities. With each new event, her confidence grew stronger. She realized that her story was helping others overcome their own fears and doubts. Many people told her how her words had encouraged them to take their first steps toward change. She also noticed that her English had improved significantly. Speaking with different people every day helped her expand her vocabulary and express herself more clearly. She felt proud of how far she had come since her arrival. Think about your own life. Have you ever inspired someone without realizing it? Share your thoughts with us. Now let's continue to the next part of the story and see what happened next. As her confidence grew, the woman began to dream even bigger. She realized that her journey was not just about personal growth, but also about making a difference in the world. She decided to start a blog to share her experiences and tips with others. Her blog focused on helping people overcome their fears of making mistakes when learning English. She wrote about her own challenges and how she turned them into opportunities. Her stories resonated with readers from all over the world. One day, she received a message from a reader who said her blog had inspired them to take their first trip abroad. This feedback filled her with joy and motivated her to keep writing and sharing her journey. Through her blog, she also connected with other language learners and teachers. Together, they formed a supportive community where everyone encouraged each other to keep improving and growing. Think about your own life. Have you ever found inspiration in someone else's story? Share your thoughts with us. Now, let's move to the next part of the story and see what happened next. The woman's blog continued to grow, and soon she began receiving invitations to speak at international events. At first, the thought of speaking in front of global audiences seemed overwhelming, but she reminded herself of her journey. She prepared carefully for each event, focusing on delivering clear and inspiring messages. Her talks were well received, and people praised her for her honesty and courage. She realized that her story had touched lives worldwide. One day, while attending an event, she met a publisher who offered her a chance to write a book about her experiences. The idea excited her, but she also felt nervous about taking on such a big project. After some reflection, she decided to accept the challenge. Writing the book became a journey of self-discovery as she revisited her past struggles and celebrated her growth. The process was both challenging and rewarding. Think about your own life. Have you ever been offered an opportunity that scared you but also excited you? Share your thoughts with us. Now let's move to the next part of the story. The woman worked tirelessly on her book, pouring her heart into every chapter. She shared not only her struggles but also the lessons she had learned along the way. Writing the book became a way for her to reflect on her journey. When the book was finally published, she felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. Would people connect with her story? Would they find her advice helpful? Her doubts quickly disappeared when she saw the positive response. Readers from around the world reached out to thank her for her honesty and inspiration. Many said her book had encouraged them to take their first steps toward change. She realized that her story had made a real impact. Through writing the book, she also discovered a new sense of purpose. She wanted to continue inspiring others to embrace challenges and trust in their own potential. Her journey had come full circle. Think about your own life. Have you ever created something that touched the lives of others? Share your thoughts with us. Now, let's move to the next part of the story and see what happened next. The success of her book opened even more doors for the woman. She was invited to host workshops and seminars in different countries, sharing her story with diverse audiences. Each event deepened her belief in the power of connection. During one of her travels, she visited a small town similar to the one where she had grown up. The experience brought back memories of her own fears and dreams. She realized how much she had changed since those days. She decided to dedicate part of her time to helping people in small towns pursue their dreams. She believed that everyone deserves a chance to grow, no matter where they come from. Her mission became clearer than ever. Through her efforts, she inspired countless individuals to take action and trust in their abilities. She often reminded them that mistakes are not failures, but opportunities to learn and grow stronger. Think about your own life. Have you ever revisited your past and seen how far you've come? Share your thoughts with us. Now let's move to the final part of the story and see how it all concludes. The woman's journey taught her that life is full of unexpected turns, but each one carries a lesson or an opportunity. She realized that the key to growth is embracing change and trusting in oneself. One day, while reflecting on her path, she decided to start a new project. This time, it would be a podcast where she could share inspiring stories from people around the world. She wanted to amplify voices that needed to be heard. The podcast quickly gained popularity as listeners connected with the authenticity and courage of the stories. Each episode reminded people that they are not alone in their struggles. Through her work, she continued to inspire others to take small steps toward big dreams. She often said that even the smallest action can lead to something extraordinary if you believe in yourself. Think about your own life. What small step can you take today to move closer to your dreams? Share your thoughts with us. Thank you for being part of this journey, and remember, every step counts.